Good afternoon, good people. Man, I was watching this podcast called We Need to Talk Podcast. Shout out to Ezekiel. Man, this lady on her, I forget her name. The segment was called The Encounter. And she said this one thing that stood out to me and hit me like a ton of bricks. She was quoting saying, "Don't cry over what the Lord has rejected. Don't cry over what the Lord has rejected." A lot of times in life we can be praying, fasting, and declaring these things, but it's not connected to God's will. And a lot of times God loves us so much where He will not allow us to tear ourselves apart. So you got to think about this. If it's man's rejecting, guess what? It's God's protection. You know, don't get discouraged if you got rejected by something, because guess what? It was God's protection. A lot of times God has to protect us from us. It's been plenty of times where I've messed myself up. A lot of times we forming our own weapons against us, and we don't realize that. You know, we'll say no weapon formed against us shall prosper. Sometimes we'll form them weapons against ourselves because we are making decisions, we're thinking, we're doing all of this stuff based on emotions. And that's what the enemy wants us to do. He don't want us to be connected to the Holy Spirit where we can receive guidance and knowledge and wisdom. But guess what? He wants us to do stuff in our emotions. So we have to be wise, not in our own eyes, but ask God for that righteous, that wisdom that we need in order to make it through. And so don't cry over what the Lord has rejected, because even though it might seem like it was a rejection, it was God's protection. It's your boy.